I wore my mother's dream wedding dress and ended up in the ER, but what the doctor said changed our relationship forever. For as long as I can remember, my mother had one non-negotiable wedding rule. I would wear her mother's dress from 1953. She kept it preserved in a special box, wrapped in acid-free tissue paper, talking about it like it was sacred. When you wear this, she'd say, it'll be like having 3 generations of women walking down the aisle. The problem became obvious when I got engaged last year. My grandmother had been 5'2" with a 21-inch waist. I am 5'8" with curves that weren't fashionable in the 1950s. When I gently suggested alterations or wearing just a piece of the fabric, my mother burst into tears. This is the one thing I've always wanted, she said. Don't you care about family tradition? For 6 months, I tried everything: extreme diets, waist trainers twice, daily herd. I lost 30 pounds, but still couldn't zip the dress. 2 weeks before the wedding, in desperation, I started taking diet pills and stopped eating altogether. The morning of my wedding, I needed 2 bridesmaids to help me into the dress. They literally sewed me into it while I stood there, lightheaded and struggling to breathe. My ribs felt crushed, but my mother cried happy tears when she saw me. Perfect, she whispered. Just perfect. I made it through the ceremony by taking shallow breaths. During our first dance, black spots appeared in my vision. I collapsed before the song ended. At the hospital, they had to cut the dress off me. My blood pressure had plummeted, and I had 2 cracked ribs from the compression. The ER doctor, an older woman, looked at my mother and said something I'll never forget. The average woman in 1953 wore a size that doesn't even exist today. Bodies change across generations. Was making your daughter physically harm herself worth preserving a fantasy about the past? My mother sat silent for a long time, staring at the ruined dress on the floor. Then she did something she'd never done before. She apologized, not just for the dress, but for years of comments about my body, for prioritizing appearances over my health. We left the hospital 5 hours after my ceremony. My husband and I had our first meal as a married couple in the hospital cafeteria, me in a hospital gown, him still in his tux. Our wedding photos show only the ceremony, but my favorite picture is one a nurse took of us, sharing hospital pudding cups with plastic spoons. It's the first day of my marriage, but also the first day of a new relationship with my mother, one where I am finally allowed to exist in the body I actually have.